Been a while. Let's see what we get today. All right. If you're coming in after live, how's it going? Agent M? Agent M. Love the name. First time on the stream. Welcome, welcome. I'm just going to get a few minutes before I really start rolling the ball on demo. Let's get this over here. You can see my get Shade Willow. Doctor. Make sure everything's loading. Perfect. Minimize this a little bit. And I'm going to be demonstrating scene 3. And we'll get to that in just a minute. All right. I'm already surprised Liam's not here. It's very weird. It's very weird. There he is. Yeah. Let me tell you, Liam. When it comes to building this thing, yeah, I've been working on this for over a month and a half now, and it's still a grind. Still a grind. But I just think it'll just be such a great addition to the Forge for people, especially for people who are wanting to learn DC20 and like test out playing after making a character. So I think it'll be a good demo tonight. I'm going to be showing you guys how combat works in solo adventure mode. And as soon as I get that all figured out, next stage is I'm going to make NPCs. So like if you want to have some NPC sidekicks to help you, assist you, you'll have that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, going through the combat solo, even as a level 2 in the Shade Willow, not possible. Not possible to make it out alive. It's a deadly encounter. They'd have to, well, when I say not possible, they'd have to miss like all their attacks for that to happen. Mike keeps cutting out at random. Just wonder if it's just because of where it was tucked. Let me try. Do a 2 mic. Two mic, double the power. Shouldn't be as much of an issue. Is that better? I'll wait for a reply on that before I get started. I don't want it to keep cutting out. It also might be the way I talk. Sometimes I can phase in and out of my conversation. All good. All right, perfect. All right, so been 5 minutes. I'm just gonna get the ball rolling. I'm gonna record this to cut later, and then I'll take some Q&As. All right, so welcome DC20 Forge watchers and supporters. I'm the Nerd Doctor, here to diagnose what's wrong with your RPG game and here to help you fix it. So starting with just going right into it, solo adventure mode and what it is and what it's all about. So I mentioned it in some of my posts, so if you're watching this, you've probably seen it, but just to recap, the whole purpose of solo adventure mode is to essentially give the opportunity for you to play the DC20 adventures if you don't have a DM, if you don't have a table, or maybe you're a new player who's looking to give it a shot, see how the mechanics work, see how the combat works. This is a perfect place to start. Or maybe you're just needing, a little RPG itch scratched, and so you don't have a group to play with 1 week or 1 day, and you can come in here and do that. Or maybe you're a part of a group that wants to play, but you don't have a DM. Now, that feature is a bit into the future, but I eventually do want this to be able to be a place where you can come in and play one of the modules and the solo mode will run it for you and anyone at the table playing with you. Or maybe you're just someone who just wants to play test battle mechanics of one of your characters, so you bring them right into this scene for combat. So let's go ahead and start this adventure. And so this is just, the opening scene. Not going to worry about reading it. I'm going to bring you right into the action. So kicks you off right into initiative. If you're someone who's played on DC20 Forge before and you've played with a live DM, there is a combat runner, which when you turn off, connects the character sheets to it and opens up combat and starts the initiative. So this is designed to drop in the player character as the first person initiative. As you can see right now, we don't see anything else. But let's go to the battlefield. So these are just some highlights right here. You got difficult terrain here in red, and you've got just a height difference because these are ledges. So it'll require a little bit extra movement to go on. So here's the thing about this combat and what I know about it. So spoiler alert, if you cleanse the Shade Willow Heart over here in the top left-hand corner, these twig blights will disappear, and that corrupted wish will turn into an ally. But we want to demo some of the combat here. So let's start with, I'm gonna get some movement in. I want to be really far away from that Blight Queen, if I'm being honest. So let's use 2 action points to start here. Get some movement. It's being a little slow to respond. Did it correctly deduct? It should have. Oh, yep. So normally it's supposed to come up with a little alert. I don't know if my last update negated that, but it would say, do you want to move and use those 2 action points? Just to let you know how many action points you were using and to confirm that before you do. I might have deactivated by accident. But we've got this. These guys are definitely in range. I just need to be within 10 spaces, and I definitely am. So I'm going to go ahead and target this Twig Blight. And everything does move a little bit slowly right now, especially on the stream, so don't mind that. But I'm going to go ahead and exit here, and I'm going to use a spell. I'll just use the spell action. We'll use Freeze. And I've got one more action point to use, so I'll go ahead and I will... You know what? I can't do it from this one, so let me just click over the spell. Use Freeze. It should be over there, but it's not. I'm going to have to fix that. And got a nice little spell summary here, and we're going to roll that spell. But you can see I used 2 AP to move 8 spaces. I could still technically move 2 more spaces if I like. Come on, dice roller. You can do it. Perfect. Gives the quick summary, passes it on to the AI Game Master that is running. So with Focus Gesture, you unleash your freeze spell, sending a shiver of icy energy toward the target. Spell strikes true, enveloping the unsuspecting enemy in frost. Cold rushes through them, slowing their movements, and they stagger back. Target takes 3 cold damage, and I'm out of action points, so it's just telling me to click the reset button. So I'm just going to go to actions real quick, click the reset button, and that will move along the turn order. If you want to see what that looks like, you can come over here and click this little red button. It shows you that one of the twig blights is now going. You can easily access the map through here, but let's go over what the twig blight is doing. Now keep in mind, this spell required a saving throw. Still on my list of things to do. The twig blight should have made a saving throw on that action, but they didn't. That's okay. Again, this is still in beta. I'm still working towards tweaking a few things to get it working for playtesting, but once it's ready, well, but I just want to walk you through what's going on. So twig blight moves 7 spaces, and we will be able to see that here. So twig blight moved right within range. It only needs 2 spaces to reach me with its branch whip here. Spend 1 AP against my Nerd Doctor's PT, and spend 1 AP for grasping vines. So 2 to move, 1 to branch, 1 to grapple. Now, so if you had a reaction, if you had a maneuver or something that you could use before this action, you could go in here, choose the maneuver and do it. I do not have that. So I'm going to hit no reaction because there's nothing I can do to stop this. Yes, we got maps. This is kind of like my play test-ish, because I'm seeing how much I can do with it, because I'm not going to be able to build something like, what would we use, Foundry? I'm not going to be able to build something like Foundry, but we'll see, because again, the big juncture with Mirrorscape is going to be a big thing. So I don't know how much energy I want to put into that, but for the sake of this, I'm just uploading the maps that are already existing within the modules, so it's easy to work with in that sense. But if everything's working the way it is, then there should be no reason I can't put a simple version of that in here, connected to the DM screen and players connected to it. So we'll see. We're going to see how long this project takes to finish. And I've got a few other things I got to fix up while I'm at it. Okay, so no reaction, see what happens. So the Twig Bite rolled a crit. Awesome. +4 versus my PD, which is 13. So easily does it even say? Yeah, a critical hit. So 1 damage for the branch whip. 1 damage for heavy, 1 damage for brutal, and 1 for crit. Now, I'm still waiting on some verification stuff with the new stuff, so I'm waiting for .11 if crit's always going to be +2 or if it's just going to be a scaling like the other two, but we'll find out. So I need to make a save. So it is going to ask me, oh, you know what? One of my updates must have negated it. So I was supposed to make a save. That was actually working a minute ago. But one of the problems that I've been having is in this combat, what happens is in this combat you can turn the corrupted wisp into an ally. And so one of the things I was literally doing just before I switched over to doing this demo is I was trying to work on getting it to address the fact that if my ally attack, like what was happening before was if it targets me, it'll prompt me for make a save or throw, and I'll make it, and whatever will happen. But it wasn't prompting, like if it targeted one of my enemies, once it turned into an ally, it wasn't prompting a saving throw from the other monster. So that's literally the thing I was working on just before I started this demo. Clearly a bad use of my time, considering I did have a working saving throw 2 seconds ago. All right, no reaction. I'm just going to let this round play through because I'm just going to show you how some of these things are working. 15, that will hit me. And you will notice, oops, I'm scrolling the wrong way. You will notice my HP is automatically going down. So you can see that automatically going down there because I want to get to, it's not prompting me to make any saving throws, so I'm just going to skip it for right now for this demo. Yes, I know the dice is moving very slowly. Computer's working very hard. Yes, do that. You don't need all the bells and whistles of Foundry, just maps, tokens, and ability to draw shapes is all that's really needed. I guess Fog of War as well. Yeah. See, as you start peeling back the layers, you start seeing more and more what you need. Trust me. All right, so back to then another critical hit. Oh my god. I got to check with Onyx. There's too many critical hits going on. All right, corrupted discharge. This is what I was looking for, because I want to show you a spell duel. Let's see if this is, again, hopefully my tweaks didn't mess it up, but here we go, spell duel time. Let's see if I can roll well. 18. And the monster check. The dice rolls much faster, not on live stream, let me tell you. 12. So I definitely rolled higher. turn ends, auto advance to the next creature. Again, maybe it's just being slow, but I'm just seeing, just giving it a second. All right. Something, well, I don't know what just happened, but something just malfunctioned. And oh, you know what? It's because I might be on death's door. That might be why. So death's door has been triggering this. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, wait, no, here's what I need to do. Yep. Okay. All right, something's scrapping out just because of the live stream, but in a nutshell, that is basically what I've got so far. Demo's not working 100% great, but you can see what's happening. You can see the monsters are making moves. They are making attack actions tactically. This does call for saving throws. The spell duel does work to negate. It auto proceeds through turns, and the actions work the way that they're supposed to. So you can even see here, I've got the grappled condition. Again, I should have made a saving throw, but it applied it anyway, and that's okay. But you can see how it negates the ability to move tokens. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, it's just moving real slow right now because of everything, but that's okay. But you can see I'm grappled, so I have disadvantage on agility saves. This isn't going to be the end layout. Obviously, we want to be able to see these a little bit more. But this is just what's working for me so far right now. But I'll be able to kind of squish these down a little bit more at a later date, especially as they start to narrow actions. But I can move, if I could move, I would go ahead and, I wonder if I can just do this. Nope. Nope, okay. So I just wanted to show you an attack action turn and just show you what that's all about. But that is what we're seeing from a combat standpoint. The HP of the monsters go down. You can apply conditions to the monsters. So everything is working pretty well. There's still some bugs and tweaks and fixes that need to go on, like, of course, the saves and getting the monsters to do saves. I'm particularly working well with this ally aspect of Shade Willow just because it's a precursor to me building in NPCs that will be allies for the users, so that they can come in with a party, because this combat is all but impossible. You already saw me at death's door, and it's not even the end of round one. So it's not something built for one player necessarily, which is why I could probably tier it, but I would be pulling out a lot of monsters, and it'd be a lot of one-on-ones. It's just not as fun. But if I can pull in some NPC allies, then it'll be in good shape. Liam, you know what this could really use? An epic reading out everything that's happening. Just let me know. I can send some voice samples. It's definitely on the docket to have a voice come out. I've been looking at HeyGen because it can take my voice sample, and just so everyone can have the Nerd Doctor at their table. Not that I have the best voice. but it still does the job for right now. Like everything's I just need everything to work textually, and then the other stuff will be easier to add in. Agentum, looks like you're doing the thing my dad, who knows nothing about TTRG, thought up. What if you make a game that people could play without you? Well, here's the thing. I actually went through a stage. This was particularly around COVID, but around COVID, I was like, no one to play with, but you just had that itch. So I was looking at DM-less RPGs, like games like Iron Sworn, games, the Mythic GM emulator. I've actually, me and two of my friends, and in the earlier stages, this is 8.5 version of DC20, but we really wanted to play and try out the game, so we made some character sheets and we used the Mythic GM emulator, and we just did a DM-less game. Not that, don't get me wrong, I love the DM, and I'm really looking forward to some of the campaigns I'm going to be running in the future. But there's just sometimes like if you don't like, sometimes you want to be a player, like if you're the GMs out there who want to be a player and they don't have any DMs, or maybe you're just someone who just doesn't have anyone to play with. I played at I ran a DC20 table in a couple months ago, and I happened to get someone to sign up at my table who was one of the Kickstarters, but he hasn't gotten a chance to play it. So that was his first chance. So all these updates, like I played several times over the course of these updates and the release modules and everything. But I'm sure there are many, many people out there that just have not had a chance or opportunity to play DC20 and are just itching. I've definitely had a one supporter on my Patreon who's like, when are you coming out with a solo mode? When are you coming out with a solo mode? And I know Liam gets that itch to play every once in a while. So it's a great little feature to, I think, that people will get a chance to take advantage of. It's not meant to replace the experience of a DM by any means. I wanna stress that, because this isn't sandbox, right? This isn't this AI DM is not trained to go off script. Literally, it is forced to be on script. It is like, let's just go to another scene real quick. I can just demonstrate really, really fast. Or I'll just take it right to the top. Like, this is the descriptive text at the very beginning of it. And, any normal person might be like, oh, I look around. And I kind of shorthanded it here. But, oh, I look around. Now, a normal DM might be like, okay, make an awareness check. And then this happens. With other scenes where adventure and exploration is the thing, it's more flexible. But this scene is all about combat, so it's not. And so so I have to have combat triggered in a certain way. And there's not really I haven't really found an easy way to do it. So it really just, whatever this person says, combat starts. Like, this is forced to follow a very step-by-step process. It's a guided adventure. It's meant to fill a hole, meet a niche, but definitely not going to replace a DM by any means. Testing your character ability, adventure to play for later. Exactly. Like, if you're a DM and you're going to run the adventure, I've always been like, oh, you know what? Before I run an adventure, I want to play an adventure. I'd rather play it first and experience it as a player. And even though it's not the same, it is that opportunity for all the DMs. But the goal of this, once it's done, it's going to be for adventure tier. But I'm getting very, very close to a point where I'm not going to be able to think of everything that this needs combat-wise. So I'm going to be releasing the Shade Willow within the next month, definitely within the next couple weeks, to patrons. Patrons who are, they're going to get early access and do some play testing for me. But it's just the basic, the adventurer tier on my Patreon, but all Patreon adventure tier and above is going to get early access. So I'm just letting people know that there, if they support, if you have a subscription and you don't want to do both, totally get it. But I just want to make sure before I come out with a full release, and I do promise early rewards to patrons, so I figured I would do that. They would get some early rewards with this. I'd get some play testing in, polish it up a little bit before the full release. Exactly. That's way I baffle me that Wizards of the Coast executives wanted to actually do that, replace DMs with AI. I 100% agree. I'm actually working on, maybe I shouldn't do it, but I'm working on a when to use AI video, like to release, because I've heard a lot of people talk a lot of like they just say, I've heard other people say, oh, it belongs in so many areas, or I've heard, oh, it doesn't belong in this game at all. And I think it's somewhere in the middle, and so I was thinking about doing a video for that, because I 100% agree. It should not replace DMs. Like I said, I'm working on my campaign. I'm working on the origin stories and just there's no way an AI is going to come up like with the story and tailoring it to that player the way that a DM can do. That action the monster have command you do the opposite of what you were going to do. That action the monster have to command you to do the opposite of what you were going to do. Who do you do that? I'm not sure I'm following. I'm not sure I'm following. Monster action do the opposite of that? I'm not, yeah, you're going to have to rephrase Agentum. Yeah, who do you do that? I'm not following. I'm sorry. No worries. You're good. You're good. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for the way this is coming out, and it's definitely when I tell you this has been just getting the AI just to do this spell check thing. I I spent days working on just getting the spell duel to work. And I still have to fix it because I had because I wasn't sure, but I had a question I got answered by the devs earlier today. But apparently, when you do a spell duel, the attacker can still miss even if they beat your roll. And I wasn't sure. I thought maybe if they win, the attack follows through. So so it's definitely, but definitely got to tweak that. So I got to dig back into the spell duel, but it was such a process. Just getting it to understand this is a contested check. If this, but this. If I roll higher, attack negated. If I don't roll higher, attack goes through. If it's a tie, I haven't got a I haven't got a chance to test the tie yet. To be honest, I haven't rolled a tie yet. This is why I need playtesters. I need someone to roll a tie. I need someone to go in there and spell duel the crap out of this until they get it. But it's doing a really job of identifying where creatures are starting, where their ranges are on the battlefield. It moved everything. All of these things are an opportunity attack if I can move in from here, which I don't think it's going to let me do. Oh, there it is. So 7 spaces, 2 AP, includes 1 AP for the pass-through action. Boom. Now, it shouldn't have let me move. Let's see. Takes an opportunity. So yeah, there we go. Twig Blight takes an opportunity attack. Spend 1 AT, branch. Spend 1 AP to gain advantage. Spend 1 AP to gain 2 advantage. So that's pretty nasty. But it shouldn't have let me move because I am... Oh no, I removed the grappled condition somehow. Don't know how I did that. Let's see if it hits. So you can see right up here, pending move, resolving opportunity attack. Another opportunity attack. Yeah, so right now it is skipping the step of give this person, make them do a save roll. But I was really proud of that feature. How are you going to make the corrupt with intent reversal? Great question. Great question. So what happens is, because this is a little bit behind the scenes, but I'm totally happy to answer it. But basically, and let's just see if I can. I'm going to cheat it a little bit. I know how to hack it. Opportunity of tax resolve. Okay. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to restore my AP. Let's go back to the map here. I don't have to go all the way into that. Let's go back to the map. See how many that uses. See, again, it should be telling me how much move I have. Let's see if it'll read it. Perfect. Okay. So, use the action, use antidote on the Shade Willow Heart. You pour the antidote on the Shade Willow. Guess what happens? Let's take a quick look. Okay, so little bugs here, but this was a twig blight. You can now see it's a cleansed wisp. So here, and this is the other bug that I've been working on a lot the past day, is what it does is I tied the AIDM to my combat runner. So if you're a DM and you've used the combat runner, you know what I'm talking about. But you can add people into initiative, you can track their HP, you can do all these things. So I connected the AIDM to the combat runner. So when health goes down, it marks it off. When this situation happens, I created a back-end rule where once the Shade Willow Heart is used, remove the 2 twig blights. Now you can see only one of them got removed in this particular situation, but it removes the 2 twig blights and it has been working. So I'm not sure where this came from. But what has been happening is this cleansed wisp is not starting in the same position that the corrupted wisp was at before. And it's supposed to replace the marker. So it's supposed to add in the cleansed wisp through the encounter marker, so the encounter runner, and remove the corrupted wisp. And the starter marker is supposed to be the same as where it left. But that's what I'm trying to fix right now. Based on what I'm looking at, right, this might be giving me a big hint, because right now it's starting, and that's starting to make a lot of sense of now that I'm looking back at it. But this cleanse width is now starting in the same position that it removed one of the twig blights. So it's removing the twig blights and it's starting it in the same point. So it might be mixing up the monsters in terms of location. So I'm gonna have that's some great insight for me. But now this is an ally. In the encounter runner, you can set a monster as an ally. So let's, and I can't really, oh, it's my current turn, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit reset AP. That should progress it. I was hoping it progressed the cleanse wisp, but the first target is actually going to be the cleanse wisp. As you can see, it's the closest target. So the twig blight's going to attack the cleanse wisp. I'm not going to use any reaction to try to stop it. Twig blight is targeting cleanse wisp. Yep. Used gain to advantage with 2 of its action points. Brutal. Let's see what happens. Turn advances. So brutal hit, grasping vines. But see again, like it's not calling for the saves right now, and so that's what that was literally the thing I was trying to fix. But you can see exactly how that swaps it out. So that was a tricky thing. Each combat will have its own little things, I'm sure. And so basically the hardest part about this whole process is every individual adventure that I do this for, I just have to tailor to make sure the certain objectives are being met and worked on. So this thing's not meant to create special combats, you know. So that's why this is not going to be a sandboxy tool, but it didn't roll for pass through. Yes. So that's a great point. Do you have to roll for pass through? I thought it was just an action. Maybe I'm, and if that's the case, then that is 100% my fault because I misunderstood the pass through action. You spend 1 AP to attempt to move through the space. Good call. Great call. Yeah, I haven't been through all the actions. So, very great call, though. So, creature hostile, it's within 1 size of you. Make a contested martial against the guy. So, you are right. I will fix that and put a note. Glad to have you here, Argentum. Good call out. The ones that are done are spell duel and opportunity attack. Attack and spell. Trying to see what else is done. Dodge. No, not dodge. Disengage. Disengage is done. Move is obviously done. Object action, I really got to figure out. I like what I obviously did is I made the antidote in object action, and I just made a whole separate one, a special one for this particular thing. But yeah, those are the only ones that are done in this moment in terms of actions that are accounted for. Again, I'm still trying to get the procedures done, and then I start going in and tweaking. But that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. So, any other Q&A questions before I wrap up the live stream? But if you're anyone who's been, and I'll probably edit a lot of this parts out, but if you enjoyed this interest in the solo adventure mode and you're interested in playing DC20 and testing this out, just head over to my Patreon. You can find it in my links on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on DC20 Forge itself. And to become adventurer tier to get early access to testing out the combat runner. I will be sending that out within the next couple weeks. And if not, I look forward to all the adventure passes on the site getting access and telling me what they think, because I think this will be a lot of fun. But again, this has been DC20 Forges. I'm the Nerd Doctor. Again, here to diagnose your RBG game and here to help you fix it. And stay clever and play smarter. I like your shots. Shots. What do you mean? my clips? You're talking about my shorts? There we go. That makes more sense. Are you talking specifically in this? I just want to preface, like, just the shorts in general, or are you talking about my doctor shorts where I do the diagnosis thing? I've got to record some new ones. I've got the scripts already. I just got to sit down and do it. But are those what you're talking about, or just any of them? Looks badass. Heading back to work now. Have a good night. You too, Liam. Thanks for jumping on. Always a pleasure. I look forward to your play testing this and giving me a lot of work to do. Doctor shorts, yes. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I was always interested in doing them. Like, I've seen, like, just to give you some examples, like who's the ones that I've followed, but is that like Zach the Bold? Love his shorts. What's his name? He does a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff. Let me switch to here. Vika Chicka Dance or something like that. I'm blanking on it, but there's a lot of guys who do a lot of shorts that I've very much been impressed with and been like, I'd love to do this, and I was like, never thought I would. Like I always had some ideas, but it was just, I'm like, just in my head, I was being weird. I was like, I'm not funny enough. I'd love to be funny. But I was like, you know what? Why don't we give it a shot? It doesn't hurt to give it a shot. I wrote the material, and I was like, you know what? I actually am really liking this. Recorded 10 of them. 9 made it through because I missed a line. I missed a scene during the recordings of one of them. But I recorded them, put them together, and then I was having a chuckle. But the funniest thing is, like, my wife's not into D&D at all. And what motivated more than anything is, like, I showed her the first video and she laughed. And I was like, oh, okay. She doesn't get anything that's going on, but she's laughing, so it must be funny. And I don't know, it was one of the first 2 that I posted, just went off. I'm a fellow DC20 content creator and have been making clips to make shorts. Is Agentum, is that your YouTube? Is that where I'd see your clips? Will this take me to go-to channel? That'll work. Agentum. Oh, yes. I have seen your stuff pop up. The builds, the anime, the Mario. Yeah, I've seen those things pop up. Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed it. What I think you exemplify a lot really well is just how perfectly flexible DC20 is. Like, if you went and you did that, if you try to do that with D&D, maybe you did once upon a time, but my own experience has just been take a concept and try to make D&D work for it, and I've just had nothing but headaches. Like, just to give you an example, when I'm in a campaign right now where I've been playing for over a year and a half now, and this isn't DC20, it's 3.5e, but we started out actually 5e, and I was building an Assassin's Creed type character, and just like for a little bit more fantasy aspect, I was like definitely looking for a little bit like of like potentially cleric-y, like shadowy. Like I just like there was just like the rogue didn't quite hit it, the assassin class didn't quite hit it, so um, I could never make D&D fit. And then even when we went to 3.5 and Pathfinder, like I just couldn't make those fit. And then when I sat down for when we first started our campaign, I literally created the exact character I wanted on DC20 so easily, and I tried to do a side-by-side comparison to my DM, like we should switch to DC20 Forge or DC20, and couldn't convince him. But I thought yours were D&D shorts or Will Harry. Well, they are what they're meant to be. Is they're meant to be not, I don't want to say rips, but they're meant to be like, come to me with a D&D problem and let me tell you how DC20 fix it. And that's what my shorts are all about. I'm trying to get more interest in DC20 and just some of the benefits. I've been holding off so long to do videos on side-by-side class comparisons, and I just haven't done it because I'm waiting for .11. I want to have .11 before I really dig into side-by-side class comparisons, but I'm really excited for it. And then I have I have 10 more Doctor shorts ready that just need to be filmed. 11 technically, because again one of them the first 10 didn't make the cut. But I was inspired by Tulok the Barbarian. Love it. All right. I am going to wrap up for the night, though, just because my pregnant wife is probably ready to go to sleep, and she's probably tired of listening to me talk. But it was a pleasure. Thanks for joining Argentum. I look forward to checking out some more of your videos, and look forward to seeing any reactions. Feel free to leave some comments. Always love to hear them. Yeah, those were two what I thought were your inspirations. Yes. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great